The stars burned low over the silent edge of the colony field when Megan stepped out of the repair shed. She had been working since dawn on the cracked water lines running through the alien soil. The air smelled strange on this world, full of metal and dust, and somewhere beyond the ridge, the night hummed with the sound of alien ships watching the humans who had dared to land here. She pulled her coat tighter and stared at the lights pulsing far away. Every pulse meant a ship. Every hum meant eyes that did not blink. She had come to this world as an engineer, not a soldier. But when the first group vanished near the southern basin, she found herself holding a rifle instead of a wrench. People whispered about the women who came from the storm clouds, silver-skinned and silent, moving like smoke. They took them in first. Then they started taking the women too. No one ever came back. That night, as the wind shifted, she saw a shape standing by the broken water tower. It was tall and still, its eyes faintly glowing. She froze. For a moment, she thought it was one of their scouts. Then the shape turned its head, and the light in its eyes dimmed. The figure raised one hand, slow and open, a gesture that did not mean harm. Megan swallowed hard and stepped forward. The air around her buzzed. The ground trembled. She saw the faint shimmer of armor that looked grown rather than built. The alien woman was not like the others described in the colony reports. Her eyes were not cold. They looked almost afraid when she spoke. Her voice carried a soft tone that seemed to echo inside the bones rather than in the ears. She said she had come to warn the humans. Her own kind were preparing to cleanse the valley. She had seen the order. She had refused to take part. Now she was hunted by them too. Megan listened, feeling her chest tighten. The alien spoke with broken human words, learned from intercepted broadcasts. She said her name sounded like Lyra, though it was longer in her tongue. Lyra said that her people did not understand the human way of fighting for others. They saw humans as a sickness spreading too fast. But when she had seen a human soldier drag a wounded stranger through fire to save him, something inside her had changed. Megan wanted to trust her, but every story on this world began with a lie. Still, there was something in Lyra's trembling hands, something too human to ignore. They worked together that night, fixing the broken pipes and hiding from patrol drones that swept the area. Lyra moved with grace, her silver skin shifting to blend with the shadows. Once, when a searchlight passed over them, Lyra pressed her hand against Megan's chest, keeping her still. Megan could feel her heart hammering against the alien's palm. They did not speak. When dawn came, the colony alarm sounded. The invasion had begun. Ships tore through the clouds, dropping streaks of fire. People screamed as the ground opened under the blast waves. Megan and Lyra ran toward the control post, trying to reach the emergency transmitter. But the path was blocked by wreckage. The smoke burned their lungs. Megan stumbled. Lyra lifted a steel beam with bare hands, her body shaking under the weight. She screamed without sound, light flashing from the veins in her skin. Megan pulled her free when the metal gave way, both falling together into the mud. There was no time to rest. The sky was full of light and death. They reached the transmitter tower, but the power was gone. Megan opened the panel, her hands trembling. Lyra watched her with desperate eyes. Then she took one of the cables and pressed it into her own arm. The lights on the panel flickered alive. She was using her own energy to power it. Megan shouted for her to stop, but Lyra only smiled. Faint and sad, she told Megan that humans had something her kind could not understand, something that made them terrifying and beautiful. She said that maybe if the message went through, it would remind someone far away that not all enemies were monsters. Then her voice faded as her glow dimmed. Megan sent the signal. The ground shook again. Ships above the clouds changed course, drawn by the beacon. The human fleet had heard. Within hours, the attackers were retreating. Lyra lay silent by the console, her eyes open, but no longer shining. Megan carried her outside as the first rescue ships landed. The sun broke over the ruined valley. Smoke curled in the air like old ghosts. Megan looked down at the alien woman in her arms and whispered something only she could hear. Later, when the commanders came and asked how the colony survived, Megan said it was not a soldier who saved them. It was someone who understood what it meant to fight for a world that was not her own. No one wrote her name in the report, But Megan kept the memory like a secret flame. Years later, under another sky, when new colonies rose on new worlds, people spoke softly about the night when an alien gave her light so humans could live. They called it the Dawn Gift. But Megan knew it was not a gift. It was a promise kept between two hearts that never should have met.